Thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras, here with ILTV's Morning Briefing. Well, the White House is sending Israel a very special gift for Hanukkah this year. Vice President Mike Pence has just announced that he's visiting Israel this December on a mission to, quote, end the persecution of Christians and all religious minorities, end quote, in the Middle East. This visit is a direct request from President Trump himself, and Pence's itinerary is already filling up. The Vice President will be pushing the White House's peace plan in separate meetings with both Prime Minister Netanyahu and Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. Pence will then continue to Egypt to discuss the United States-Egyptian security ties, as well as broader talks about defending religious minorities in the Middle East. A longtime supporter of Israel, the Vice President will also likely address the American policy on Iran and reiterate Trump's promise to move the United States Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Many have been anticipating Trump's official outline for an Israeli-Palestinian peace plan, hopes that were somewhat dampened earlier this week when a White House official confirmed there were, quote, no imminent plans to present a deal. Needless to say, Vice President Pence has his work cut out for him when he arrives in Israel this December. Israeli media has just gained a partial list of companies doing business in the West Bank, which may end up an official United States blacklist. The United Nations blacklist has been in the works for a while now, and now 25 Israeli companies are being targeted for operating in the disputed territories. Some of Israel's most influential firms are on the list, including Israel Aerospace Industries, Motorola, HP, Israel's National Bank, and the Dead Sea cosmetics chain AVIV. And if the United Nations were to publish its long-rumored blacklist, Israeli officials fear that the politically driven move could do real harm to the market. Both Israeli and American leaders have slammed the United Nations for pushing for a global boycott against Israel, but the UN's Human Rights Council has only continued to pass such resolutions. At this time, at least 150 companies, including those from America, Germany, South Korea, and Norway, have been warned that they'll also be blacklisted if they continue doing business in disputed West Bank settlements. A years-long battle has come to a head today as the High Court of Justice finally ruled on whether or not supermarkets and other grocery chains could operate on Shabbat. The Association of Tradesmen and Independent Business Owners have long been fighting to close larger chains on the Sabbath on the grounds that they're breaking the law and taking away business from stores that choose to close. Well, the High Court today overturned that appeal, allowing chains to continue doing business. In response to the latest news, United Torah Judaism MK Moshe Gafni has proposed a new legislation that would work around it. Kulanu MK Rachel Azaria in return has issued her own bill that would further regulate commercial operations on Shabbat, while permitting further concessions to the secular and non-Jewish community, such as letting leisure and recreation institutions and public transportation to continue on the Sabbath as well. Time will tell which law will win out. The I.D.F. is set to get a major boost in the near future, as Israeli defense company Rafael Advanced Defense Systems has just won the contract to produce over 1,000 Spike LR2 5th-generation electro-optical precision-guided missiles. The new generation missile can be launched from ground or air, and is equipped with smart target seekers, trackers, artificial intelligence features, a vast array of sensors, and much, much more. The Spike LR2 can reach distances of up to 5.5 kilometers from a ground launcher and up to 10 kilometers from the air. Finally, one of the biggest and baddest new additions is the two configurations of the Spike LR2. The tandem heat warhead, which has higher armor-piercing capabilities, and the multi-purpose blast warhead, which can achieve better control. With terrorists seemingly increasing the frequency and boldness of every subsequent attack, you'd think people would stay as far from the action as possible. But that just wouldn't be the case. According to tourism statistics collected so far this year, in spite of the uptick in terror and terror-related attacks, there's been a major increase in tourism over the last year in the Middle East and Europe. 2.5 million tourists have arrived just in Israel so far this year, a 22% increase over 2016. The Middle East overall saw a 9% increase over 2016, and the EU recorded a growth of 8%. In fact, tourism worldwide has risen by around 6%, the highest number in 7 years at around 600 million tourists in the first 6 months alone of 2017. So one thing is clear, that terrorism has had little to no effect on people deciding to trot the globe. That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.